Today on Rescue Vet, a Dachshund is diagnosed with congestive heart failure, but after seeing the ultrasound results, is the prognosis worse than his owner anticipated?
I kind of feel like I'm walking like with a time bomb here. If I don't do exactly what I need to do, the poor little guy might, have some problems.
A rescue dog is taken to veterinary specialty care for her 5th surgery, but will it be the last?
I would rather she enjoy running and jumping if at all possible. That's what we want to do for her.
Ellie Smith has come to Bees Ferry Veterinary Hospital with her 13-year-old Dachshund, Frank, who was recently diagnosed with congestive heart failure by another veterinarian.
About a month ago, he started coughing. The coughing kept going for about a couple days, and then I noticed at night he was having a really hard time breathing. I took him to a vet, and he diagnosed him right on the spot with congestive heart failure.
Ellie's veterinarian referred her to Dr. Saenger to help investigate the severity of Frank's disease by doing an ultrasound.
They decided to have me take a look and try to determine what's causing the congestive heart failure, how bad is it, and do we need to add in any other medications that may help Frank live longer with congestive heart failure.
So this is little Frank, hi big guy.
He's a little bit, anxious right now.
You want to give kisses though? Okay, kisses are good. We'll take kisses. Yeah, it's okay.
What my goal is today is to find out how bad is his heart, and then can I do something that will help stabilize things a little bit more? Can I improve the efficiency of how his heart is functioning, that kind of thing. So that's what I'm gonna look and try to figure out.
He has had disc issues.
Because you're a dog.
We had to remove the disc at one point.
Oh, okay. All right.
He's a very stiff little dog, and he does not like to be put on his back. He doesn't like to be put on his side. Makes him really nervous.
There we go. Okay. There we go.
It's okay, boy. It's okay.
I got you, baby.
Okay.
Dr. Saenger begins the ultrasound by using a probe on Frank's chest, allowing her to see the valves and chambers of his heart.
So I'm just capturing images of his left atrium right now. And the reason I'm so interested in it is very enlarged. It is very obvious that he has significant heart disease. The valve itself is leaking, and I can see that on the machine. And the heart is enlarging to help compensate for that leaky valve. And it's pretty dramatic. And so when that valve leaks, the blood is building up in the left atrium.
Okay.
Instead of being pushed out. Some of it's not emptying completely, it's being forced back up in because the valve isn't closed all the way. So he has too much blood in his left atrium.
Frank's heart is larger than normal because it has to work harder to pump blood through the leaking valve.
So it's still really important for me that I exercise him and don't let him lay around and do nothing.
Actually, what you're supposed to do with a dog who's in congestive heart failure is let them 100% dictate their exercise.
Oh.
If you force him to move more than he feels he can,
Okay.
you could get him into trouble.
Okay.
Because his heart might not be able to keep up.
When I was walking him and I thought he was just scared, I couldn't understand why he didn't want to walk, and I made him keep walking. So now I know not to do that.
If he ever starts dragging behind or saying, I don't want to go, listen to that. But if he wants to go, I want him to go.
Okay.
His left atrium is really big. I got you, we're almost done, okay? Be brave for me.
Are we also trying to rule out anything like a tumor or cancer?
I'm not seeing anything obvious that would suggest that I need to look for something like a tumor.
Right. Okay.
So that's good.
I kind of feel like I'm walking like with a time bomb here. If I don't do exactly what I need to do, the poor little guy might, have some problems. My life has kind of completely changed to the sense that I am now taking care of a dog with heart failure.
April have driven 2 hours from Conway, South Carolina with their adopted dog Lucky for a procedure on her paw.
She is a lab mix. We're not sure with what. We're not really sure.
5 months ago, Kathy's daughter April was leaving a job interview when she noticed something in the back of her car.
She gets in the truck to leave her interview, and she said, I heard something. So she stopped the vehicle and got out, and somebody had thrown a puppy in the back of the truck. People shouldn't dump animals. They shouldn't dump them. Find somebody that wants to give them a home or take them to a shelter that's maybe a no-kill shelter. She couldn't barely walk. She was kind of walking like with her knuckles down. I said, something's wrong with her. Maybe we should take her to the vet. So instead of taking her to the pound, we took her to the vet.
After taking Lucky to 2 different local veterinarians who were both unable to diagnose or treat Lucky's deformities, she was finally referred to veterinary specialty care.
We typically get cases that are that either veterinarians are not equipped to do, not proficient in, or don't have time to do. So this was one of these cases where it's just such a rare, unusual thing that she referred it down.
Dr. Bianucci diagnosed Lucky with syndactyly, a genetic condition where the toes are fused together. To fix this rare deformity, Dr. Bianucci had to rebuild each of Lucky's paws during 4 different surgeries.
Every month she'd have a paw done. They'd have to break it and sew the pads together.
Lucky could not even stand when she came in, and so we did 1 foot at a time because honestly we weren't even sure if this procedure would work for Lucky.
The reconstruction has improved her walking abilities, but recently she's been experiencing pain in one of her paws.
We seen something coming out. There was another nail coming out, and we were just concerned. I don't want her to get where she's not walking real well again.
Hi, sweetheart. Hello, beautiful. You're the best dog, Lucky. Yeah, you are so cute. Is this getting bigger, or is it just kind of hanging out like that?
And no, it looks like it's growing.
So there was an area where the germinal tissue from the nail bed had not been removed at the original surgery, and was starting to grow a little bit of a horn there. A little bit of nail tissue was growing, and I think that was a point of impact, and it was causing discomfort.
I would rather she enjoy running and jumping if at all possible, so that's what we want to do for her.
Come here, little beauty. Come on, baby. Okay, let's take a peek here. Let's take a peek. Oh, easy. All right, let's see. Come on, honey. Well, this will be the easiest thing. Like that, like that. There you go. There you go, beautiful. There is a little bit of a nail bed there, and if I push on that, that does bother her. You see that?
Yeah. Is she just putting too much pressure? Is she running too much, or is something else going on in there?
Yeah.
When Lucky bears weight on her paw, it becomes a direct transmission of force right to the bone, rather than being dissipated throughout the joints.
What I'm going to do is take that nail out, get all the germinal tissue out of there that's making that nail grow. I just love that she always comes in here with a good attitude, even though
She always does.
In here, she has surgery, and every time she comes back, she's happy. She's a good dog, Lucky.
At veterinary specialty care, Lucky is being induced with anesthesia before going into surgery.
This is tissue that's sort of growing a nail, and it's resulting in pain because it's just getting impacted every time he walks. And now there's a little deeper stuff here that could be part of the problem. So this tissue's all a bit ingrown here, and I think it's creating a chronic, just kind of a chronic inflammatory area.
Dr. Bianucci carefully removes the existing toenail from Lucky's paw. Hopefully, this will be the last procedure Lucky needs to walk without pain. Lucky is taken to recovery, where she will be watched over by veterinary technicians as the anesthesia wears off.
Hi, Miss Hill, it's Dr. Bianucci. Hey, just want to let you know Lucky's looking good. Okay, we found a little callus there and a little reactive bone under the skin, and I think that was probably the source of most of the discomfort. So we've got a tight bandage on there, which should be putting a little pressure on there, keep her comfortable, and she's going to be going home on the same medications, the pain medications and antibiotics that she did last time. So I think she's comfortable and she's definitely stable to go home. My assumption is she should be walking to what I would expect her ability to be on that foot, to as close to normal as she's ever going to be within a week of that surgery.
Back at Bees Ferry, Dr. Saenger and Ellie are reviewing Frank's ultrasound results.
What that's telling me is blood that's supposed to be only moving this way is also moving back into that left atrium. Now you've got blood coming in from two directions and it's only supposed to be coming in from one direction, so it's too much blood and so that atria is expanding. Fluid seeps through the vessels and it gets into the lungs, and that's congestion and that's congestive heart failure. Okay, so he's got that. He feels tired. He feels like he just ran a marathon. His lungs are just starving for oxygen because there's fluid in his lungs instead of oxygen. So it's really important that we keep that fluid off of his lungs.
Are we just talking about just putting him on medication just basically to keep him alive for however long the medication's going to work?
Mm-hmm. And I'll give you the true statistics. Statistically, once a dog goes into congestive heart failure, they live anywhere between 3 months and 3 years. Okay, so it's a very wide range.
When she told me, it could be 3 months to 3 years, I wasn't expecting that. I'm just going to take each day as it comes, and it's all about quality of life for him now.
We're going to do everything we can to delay the progression of this disease because it will get worse.
It will?
Yeah. Even despite what we do, it will definitely get worse. But I can help slow it down. That was really hard having to watch her cry. But I've been there. And it is scary and it is sad and it's okay. It's okay to cry. There's 5 or 6 drugs to help us with congestive heart failure in dogs. Once you're on all of them, there's not a lot more we can do. And he's nowhere near on all of them. So we're really just kind of getting started. So what the medications are going to do is they are going to make him feel better, because they're going to keep the fluid off of his chest and they're going to help his heart work more efficiently. So he's going to move blood to his extremities better, to his brain better. He's not going to have congestion in his lungs. He's going to feel better and stronger while he's on these medications. So what she needs to do is to make sure he gets his medications every day at about the same times every day. And she needs to make sure she lets me know of any changes in how he's feeling and how he's breathing immediately. What we need to monitor very closely are his chest x-rays, because they're going to tell us about fluid. And they might tell us about fluid before you even notice that he's breathing hard. It's realistic for you to monitor his breathing at home. And stay in communication with us, and we will make sure that we're adjusting things to stay ahead of the game. And then we'll get you all checked out.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Sorry you're having to go through this. I know how hard it is.
I'm really kind of a little bit of shock, and I'm upset, and I know, I know when I leave here, I'm gonna, be upset. But the flip side, the good news is that there's medication that's gonna keep him healthy for us forever, however long he's supposed to be healthy for. He has been the most consistent thing in my life for 13 years. He's gone everywhere with me. I've myself survived cancer. And he was with me for that, so he really has been through everything with me. He's just an amazing dog, and he's my everything, really.
In 3 months, we will reevaluate everything. His blood work, his heart, his medications, and we'll change things based on what things look like then. I think Frank is gonna feel a lot better once we start the new medication. Time will tell.
Lucky has recovered from surgery and is ready to go home with her family.
What an amazing transformation from a dog that wasn't walking at all, and somebody just dumped her.
She is one of the sweetest dogs I've ever seen. She came in here with a great attitude, just licking everybody and wagging her tail, and each time she's been here, she's just been the easiest dog to deal with and just a happy, sweet dog.
She's a big part of our family. She's very lovable, very friendly, and if it wasn't for her paws, you'd never know that she wasn't, her feet weren't normal.
That's a really sweet story because those people, you know, financially weren't in a position to take this on, and somebody just dumped this dog on them, but they, you know, it just shows you the difference in people. You know, there are people who will take a dog like that and dump it, and there are people like that who will get a dog like that dumped on them, and they'll take it on as their responsibility to care for it and fix it. And you know, so those are really just great people.
It's been 4 months since Lucky had her paw operated on at Veterinary Specialty Care, and she is doing as well as expected.
Lucky's doing great. The owners have moved out of state, so I can't see Lucky directly. I did get an email from them, just the other day, and they were describing her running up and down the stairs, jumping up and down off the furniture, playing with the other dogs, and these are activities that she was in absolutely no shape to engage in before the surgery. She could not even stand. So Lucky has had a tremendous response.
Have passed since Frank's ultrasound with Dr. Saenger. Ellie is bringing him back into Ferry for a full checkup to see how he's handling his medication, whether or not his heart has enlarged, and if his lungs are still congested.
He acts like there's nothing wrong, as long as I keep him on the meds. If I miss a dose, then he goes right into difficulty breathing. But as long as I keep him on the meds, he's great. He acts like a normal dog. And you know, I find myself getting up at night and walking out to his bed and listening to him breathe.
I'm very interested in seeing how he's doing. We started several medications that she's been consistently giving now, and it should be helping keep the fluid off of his chest, and it should be helping keep his heart beat rhythmically and continue to function at a high enough level that he doesn't get congestion. Hey, Frank! How are you?
He's not sure.
Hi, honey. How have you been doing?
I don't know if I like it.
I got a kiss. We're feeling. Well, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm trying to get used to not being an overprotective mom and not let him do anything, you know?
Yeah, it's hard.
Dr. Saenger listens to Frank's heart to see if it still sounds the same. But the most important thing is how his lungs sound.
If his lungs sound congested, then I know that I need to up the ante on some of my medications. But if his lungs sound nice and clear, then we're doing what we need to do. His lungs sound really good. They're really clear, and that's what we want. So the next thing that we need to do today is take an x-ray of his chest, and I want to make sure that his heart is not enlarging anymore. I want to try to keep it the same size. And then we're going to run some blood work, to make sure that he's tolerating these medications that I started well. I want to make sure his kidneys are doing okay with it, his liver's doing okay with them, that kind of thing.
Frank is taken to radiology for x-rays. If his lungs are more congested, that could be a sign of his condition worsening.
So when I look at his heart, yes, it's still enlarged, but it's no bigger than it was 3 months ago. So that's great news. And the other thing is when I look at his lungs, I can see that his lungs are a lot clearer now. And we're gonna check him every 3 months. That's just gonna be his routine from here on out. And unless you notice something at home. So like if you notice that his respiratory rate is going up while he's sleeping, you can actually measure that at home when he's sleeping. And if you see that that's changing over time, I wanna know about it before his next 3 months.
You know, I keep going back to what you told me, 3 months to 3 years, but...
Yeah, don't dwell on that.
Yeah, try not to dwell on it.
Yeah, oh, I know. so hard.
But he's a tough little booger.
He is, and he's a responder, and the responders live longer. So that's what we want. Okay, are you tired now?
He's not traumatized by it.
Are you ready to go home? I know the thing about dogs is they don't, as long as they feel good, we keep them feeling good, they don't know they're sick.
No, he has a very good quality of life.
Yeah, he doesn't know he has a raging heart murmur.
No.
You know? We are gonna help keep Frank comfortable. You know, we can't fix his disease, but we can keep him from being miserable.
You know, he's a dog, but he's my, he's my everything, really. So I'm gonna try to do the best I can and just live each moment with him and share him with as many people as I can.